Hey everybody. Oh man, my hair's a little messed up. I got a new haircut, so hopefully I look a little bit more presentable than before. That being said, this is your favorite red bearded estate planning attorney here. My name is Derek Christensen. I'm the owner of Legion Law in Dallas, Texas, and I help my clients do estate planning and probate. So if you have any estate planning and probate needs, feel free to reach out. But right now, I'm going to talk to you about the gift tax. What it is, how does it affect you, what kind of strategies can you use, and generally speaking, how gifting can help you with estate planning. So before I dive into that, I just want to make sure that you guys understand how to reach out to me. You can email me directly, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawplc.com, or you can find me on my website on the Contact Us page, www.legionlawplc.com. So with that, let's dive right in. So what is the gift tax? Why does it matter? And why should you be worried about it? So fun fact, if you gift away too much of your stuff, you have to report that to the IRS and you have to pay taxes. So that's kind of weird, but at least I thought so when I first heard of it. But at the end of the day, I got a client right now who's concerned about the estate tax. He has a certain amount of money that's kind of closer to the estate tax, but not quite there. So to be safe, in case the estate tax changes later, I recommended that he should start gifting sums of money to the people that he wants to give the money to when he passes away, namely his children. So I had to look it up, had to do the research to make sure he's good to go. But essentially right now, the IRS states that anybody can gift up to $16,000 to somebody in a year without having to report it or without having to pay any taxes on it. So that being said, that's great because, I'm not giving away $16,000 too often, but someone who is worried about giving away that kind of money needs to know the limits. So that being said, if you go over it, you have to report it and you might have to pay taxes on it, but also you will have to declare it as a reduction of your exemption amount. Now, for your estate tax purposes. So what does that mean? So essentially right now, I believe it's $12.6 million for an individual for the estate tax. So if you own more than $12.6 million, you're going to pay estate tax on whatever is left over above that, right? But if you gift $0.6 million in your lifetime to somebody during a year, then that $0.6 million will reduce your $12.6 million of estate tax down to $12 million. So now anything about $12 million that you give or that you own after you pass away, that's going to be the estate tax. So it reduces your exemption amount as you go over the $16,000 in gifts. Sounds a little weird. It's a little bit of accounting magic, and that's kind of how Congress makes sure that they get their fingers in everyone's pies to make sure that they get the taxes that they think everybody should pay them. But it's something you need to be aware about and something you need to be concerned if you are near the estate tax limit. So that being said, how do you use that as a strategy? So as an individual, I can gift $16,000 to anybody else throughout an entire year and not to report it and not to pay any taxes, not to reduce my exemption. That being said, there could be multiple individuals. I could have 5 people that I give $16,000 each. I'm totally fine, as long as just $16,000 or less to each individual. Now that's also going to include, that $16,000 amount is going to include airplane tickets if you're buying your friends to come see you. They're going to include, going out to restaurants. There are other ways the IRS can include an amount up above $16,000 and get mad at you. They're always looking to get mad at you, right? So you got to be concerned about that and the fact that if you give somebody $16,000 in cash, you may not want to do anything else on top of that, including buying tickets for a flight or going on a cruise or whatever. So just keep that in mind. In addition to that, so you can give it to everybody, and if you're married, you can have your spouse give it to them as well. So my wife and I, we could give $32,000 together as my $16,000, her $16,000. We can give $32,000 to anybody, and again, we're still okay on that front. So it's a nice strategy to, if you have 5-10 people that you're trying to give money to, if you're married as well, if you have 10 people, you could reduce your estate by $320,000 a year. And if you do that over 10 years, you could reduce it by $3.2 million. And if you are above the estate tax and then you reduce it by $3.2 million over a decade, you're under the estate tax and you're good to go. So you didn't have to pay any taxes, and the person who is receiving the funds, they get the money that you would have given them after you passed away either way. So it's a pretty nifty strategy. It's a commonly used strategy. And if you have a lot of time and if you have a lot of people you want to give your money out to, it works out pretty well. Last thing to say, a gift has to be a gift. You can't give it and then say, hey, by the way, I gave you $16,000. Can you buy me a car now? Nothing like that. If you pull that kind of stunt, the IRS might get mad at you as well. So the gift has to be unconditional. You give it to them, they're 100% in control. They don't do anything other than what they want with the money, and you can't add any strings to it. So that's the last note, just make sure we're on the same page. So like I said, it's a little bit complex. You want to avoid taxes. I understand that. You want to avoid death. You can only avoid taxes as well as you can, and death is definitely going to happen. So if you're going to reach out to someone like me and help you out with an estate planning strategy, that would probably be for the best, because you can save a lot of money and you can make sure your kids and your loved ones after you pass away don't have as much of a headache from your mistakes. So that being said, again, reach out to me. Be more than happy to help out. My email is Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com. Or you can find me on my website, legionlawpllc.com, on the Contact Us webpage. And you can make a meeting anytime and any place, and I'll make it happen. So greatly appreciate you watching this, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good day.